This is the Inside BJJ Podcast EBI 9 Breakdown. My name is Tim Freeman, and I'm joined with my broadcast partner, Big MF.
Yo, what's up, Timmy?
Let's do this, man. EBI 9 coming up at the Orpheum Theater. Here we go. The left side of the bracket is featuring Gary, the Lion Killer Tonin, against Jimmy Friedrich. Gary is a Danaher Death Squad specialist. He holds wins at EBI 3, 5, 6, Metamor 7 against Halleck Gracie. Fight to win Pro 8. The guy's a stud.
Yeah, definitely he's the guy to beat. Nobody in EBI has beaten Gary Tonin. I'm a gambling man, and you keep betting on that guy until someone proves you otherwise. And when it comes to submission only, we're not talking about points. Thus far, Gary Tonin has been unstoppable.
I agree, and I think, although Jimmy's a no-gi specialist with wins over Eduardo Tellez at 5
Jimmy's
grappling,
tough.
He's real tough. I just don't see him getting by Gary. I see Gary going by rear naked choke. The next match features Adam, the Red Destroyer, against Rodrigo Torres. And Matt, this is an interesting matchup because Adam is a young lion. He's a young gun. He's a young black belt. He picked up jiu-jitsu later in life. Rodrigo is a black belt under the legendary Mario Sperry. He's been competing in jiu-jitsu all the way back to 1993. He's been training since he was 8 years old. It's a real matchup between the old and the new.
Give me an interesting point. It's an interesting matchup between the old and the new. Usually, the young lion eats the old lion. I say the Red Destroyer is going to come and he's going to destroy. I'm going with Adam on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Adam in overtime as well. The next matchup is super compelling. It's got Gibson Saw against Daniel O'Brien. And here's the thing. Gibson is a guy who got his black belt from his father, the late red belt Grandmaster Francisco. He was a 9th degree red belt, and his lineage dates all the way back to the Kodokan. The guy that he learned from fought Elliott Gracie in 1937 to a draw. This Saw family, they're known as the Gracies of the Northeast in Brazil, but he's going up against Daniel Bryan, who's a modern-day Samson. The guy's a beast. He's got the crazy flip armbar where he literally picks guys up as if he's going to slam them and then drops them into the armbar like a WWE move. Super detailed oriented grappler. Really hard match to pick, Matt.
I'm going with strength, size, and power in this one. I'm going with the guy that is so strong you can pick a guy up with one arm, slam him, and hit the armbar. I got to go with Daniel on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with Daniel in overtime. I think he's probably got the youth, and he's probably got the hunger on his side. It's still going to be a really interesting matchup to see. This is going to be followed up with Travis Megatron Moore from John's Gym in Temple, Texas, against Kyle Boehm. Here's the thing. Travis is really dangerous off his back. He's got a lot of triangle submission victories. He's relatively super tall, well-known in the Texas area. He's going up against Kyle, who's a 10th Planet Purple Belt, and this guy earned his way into EBI by winning Gracie Worlds. And not only did he win, he submitted the footlock specialist Travis Nuwaza with a footlock of his own, Matt.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive to be able to submit Travis Nuwaza and to win your way into EBI just based on the fact that he won his way into EBI. I'm going to put my money on the purple belt from 10th Planet. I say he wins by leg lock submission.
I am going to go against you on that, man. I think Megatron's experience is going to be too much, and I think he's going to catch Kyle in a triangle in regulation and take it to him. Let's jump over to the right side of the bracket. First match, Vinnie Magalis against Tom Breeze. Both these guys are MMA fighters. Both these guys have submission victories. They're super tough. Vinny stepping in to replace Keenan Cornelius. Obviously, he's a decorated jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA fighter. Breeze is a UK fighter. He's 10-1. He's got 6 submission victories in MMA. It's going to be a tricky one to call, but I think it's going to be an exciting fight with Breeze winning in overtime with a rear naked choke. What do you think, Matt?
You're going with Breeze? Wow. You know what? I am not going against Vinnie Magalis. I think that the two odds-on favorite here are Gary Tonin and Vinny. I'm going with Vinny on this one.
I think Vinny's pants are going to be just a little bit too tight to grapple in, and hey, it's going to be followed up with Elliott Kelly and Jason Flynn. Elliott is a black belt under Marcus Terragrossa. Elliott's a guy who started learning jiu-jitsu while he was teaching English and wrestling in Japan. The Japanese call his style of jiu-jitsu folk jiu-jitsu. He's got a lot of tricky chokes mixed with a bunch of good wrestling. He's super solid on his feet. He's very active active in the jiu-jitsu scene right now of all kinds. He puts the gi on, takes the gi off. Man, he'll fight anybody, anywhere. Jason Flynn, he's kind of an old-school MMA guy, very straightforward, very good fundamentals. We saw Jason lose in EBI 6 to Gordon Ryan, which isn't a bad thing, right? I mean, Gordon's smoking everybody, but I just think Kelly's going to be too much for Flynn in this match. How do you see it breaking down, Matt?
I am going to go with Jason Flynn. I think Jason Flynn is very confident and will fight anybody. I think his confidence is going to be the thing that carries him over in this.
I disagree, man. I think that Elliott's going to win in overtime on escape points. The next match features Matt Kirkwhelm against Ryan Walsh. I really don't know anything about Matt. I tried to find info. I just don't know anything. I'm just being honest. I don't know anything about this guy.
I like his name.
He's got a great name, right? But I do know that Ryan Walsh is a Kayotera brown belt, and here's what we know about the Kayotera competitors. They're always prepared.
They win all the time.
We saw it with Yuri. We saw it with Kyle's brother Kim. When they come into a match, they're prepared. They're ready. They always put their best out there. I had a chance to watch Ryan get ready for EBI 9, and he's hungry, man. He's a young dude, and he's hungry, and the stage is ready for him. I'm going to go with Ryan Walsh in this match, Matt.
I completely agree. Anyone who's training with Kayotera is going to be ready. Yuri's training with Yuri Samos, training with Benji. All those guys are tough. They're always ready. Kim Tara, those guys always bring it, and I got to go with him as well.
Let's jump down to the last match on the right side of the bracket. It's going to feature Daniel Strauss, the Raspberry Ape, against Quinton Rosenweig. Look, Daniel, he's a black belt under Hodger Gracie and Nick Brooks in the UK. Man, it doesn't get better than that. This guy's a beast. This guy's grandpa is a World War II hero in Switzerland. He likes the neck. He goes for it often. We saw him do that against AJ Agazarm, and he almost caught AJ, and AJ's super hard to finish. Quinton's an ADCC veteran. He came off of a tough loss to Kyle Griffin, the younger brother of Tyson Griffin. I just think Daniel's just too big for Quinton.
I see Daniel winning this thing as well. He's super big. He's super strong. He's super experienced. I see, as a matter of fact, I would say he's my third pick to win this whole thing. If somehow lightning strikes and Gary Tonin gets struck by lightning and Vinnie Magalis stubs his toe, I think this guy's going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in that aspect, on the fact that he's going to take it. If we just talk about left side versus right side of the bracket, I really see this breaking down to Gary Tonin coming up on the left side. Even though he's underweight, even though he's smaller, you don't bet against him, man. You don't bet against Gary. I think he's going to go up against Elliott Kelly in the finals. And although I think Elliott Kelly is a really talented grappler, I just don't see anybody getting past Gary Tonin right now. I think Gary Tonin's going to heel hook him for the win.
I don't know who's going to go against Gary Tonin, but I know that Gary Tonin is going to win. My money is on the Danaher Death Squad until somebody proves me otherwise.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? I mean, until someone proves you otherwise, it's got to be. These guys are solid, and they're ready. It's going to be a great night of fights at EBI 9. Make sure you check it out.